All right, today's video is a little different from usual. We got a package here from Basecamp. They wanted to send out a respirator for us to give a little review on and see what we think of it. So, package. And this is the dust mask with active carbon filter by Basecamp. Filtration efficiency, they advertise as over 99%. So they're supposed to be pretty comfortable. And in my shop, when we do sanding and stuff like that, we kick up quite a bit of small particles. So I'm hoping that this does a good job at that. So we got the upgraded M Plus with AEB system. Just supposed to save your ears. Some of the filtration, filters replacements, a couple of different, a couple of those. We actually got two here. So, and they already come with, one of the masks in there already. Moldable nose piece. Let's just try this one on. It's comfortable, but now I have a broken nose, so it's kind of having a hard time forming to that. That's better. You'll have to kind of work this piece a little bit because I can feel air coming through on just the one side. And I can talk, and it doesn't, when you talk, a lot of the time these other masks, when you're talking, it works down and you got to constantly pick them up. This one seems pretty good about keeping it up and above. Now, they do come with these to, take this relief off your ears, but it's really not that bad on my ears. Like, even when I'm talking, it's not pulling down really bad on my ears. It's not difficult to breathe in either. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to give this a use. The company Basecamp, let me get this off here. Basecamp agreed to give me at least a month using these masks to see how I really feel about them. So we're going to do some projects with some different sanding, cutting, especially with like the miter saw. When you make that cut, dust goes everywhere. So we're going to use it around the shop and see how well it does, and how long one of these will last for us in here. But first impressions, it's pretty comfortable compared to most masks that I've used. I'm looking forward to kind of giving this the old test run. We'll shoot some footage with us running these, with these and around the shop. And we'll chime back in with the final review. All right, so we've now finally had a chance to use this mask in the shop here for a little over a month, and we put it through some tests of, your basic woodworking, your cutting, your sanding, as well as we used it when we were actually cutting some stone and doing some polishing and sanding of that, which that's definitely particles you don't want to inhale, as well as just an easy, quick paint with some aerosol cans, because you can really smell those fumes pretty strongly. And going through those tests, Basecamp asked us to, come up with some of the pros and cons of this mask and how they might be able to make improvements and what they improved that actually has helped out this mask itself. That being said, this is actually the 3rd generation of the Base Camp, the M Plus mask. And right off the bat, I can tell you I was actually pretty impressed by it. But let's go through some of the cons first before we get into the pros there. One of the cons was we found that when we were first wearing them, our safety glasses were fogging up still. And that's why they actually improved these exhaust valves here to help try to cut that down. Now, to address that, once we got these masks actually formed a little bit better to our face, that helped cut it down, as well as we were noticing that it was earlier in the morning, we were having issues with our masks fogging up. And I think it was a little bit too because the glasses themselves were in a cooler temperature. And with that little bit of gap that we hadn't closed up yet and the heavier, warmer breathing, that was causing it to fog up. My buddy of mine who helped me, try these out, he has a little bit bigger of a head and face. So he had some issues with the mask holding on. His was coming down a little bit. So he had to adjust it a little bit tighter for him to hold it into position a little bit better. And after he had that adjusted, it did work well for him. My face though, it seemed to fit a little bit better. And just to give you an idea, this hat is a medium large hat. So just to kind of give you a frame of the size of my face and the structure. So to address that, we helped form this a little bit better, and then we made sure that the glasses were at a little bit warmer temperature. And you can see here in this clip, I'm breathing as hard as I can, and the glasses aren't fogging up. Because that's one major concern whenever you're wearing a respirator, is you don't want to try to make your work environment safer and actually make it more dangerous by losing vision or distraction because of your glasses fogging up. So you don't want to take those off and have to constantly, wipe them down. I also use, on some of my glasses, I use some sea gold. So I'm going to probably use that with these. It's just a solution that actually I used on my snorkeling goggles to help stop it from fogging up when I'm in the water. And that helps quite well with my safety glasses from not fogging up. So that was pretty much the main con I could come up with, was just that, and we were able to fix it just by being able to use it for a little bit longer. Now, some of the pros, first thing I'm going to say is the comfort of it. We didn't even use the straps that relieve the pressure from your ears. Neither of us had to use that. These were quite comfortable enough over our ears the entire day. Plus, we like to wear hats. Not for safety, just for comfort, I guess. And with that strap, we'd have to constantly take our hats on and off just to get the mask on and off. So we decided not to do that, but that is something that does come with it. So the mask itself is quite comfortable, and it fits, once you got it formed, it fits to your face quite well. And it's easy to put on and off. And then once you have it on there, because it's so comfortable, I don't find myself wanting to take it off, when I'm really shouldn't yet. When I'm not completely done sanding, but I'm just getting started to get hot and sweaty. The comfort of it really kind of encourages you to continue to wear it throughout the day when you're in your shop and all the way through to the cleanup process. So the comfort is definitely probably on the top there. The other really big pro was when it came to the aerosol paints. Now usually we'd be wearing one of these bigger cartridge masks, and these, first of all, you can tell right away when I'm talking through this, it's a little bit harder. When I'm talking through this, it's a little bit harder to hear me. And when you're working with another person, communication can get cut down a little bit. Where this, we can actually talk quite easily between the two of us. Talking to you, I'm not mic'd at all. The camera is about 5 feet away. And when we were working together, we could clearly hear each other without having to constantly pull down the mask to talk so you could see the face or anything like that. That was really nice. But when it came to the aerosols, what I wanted to address was, you know, when you use spray cans, and that's pretty common and most people have used them, you definitely get that smell from the paint fumes coming up. This mask, when we were wearing it, we did not even smell those paint fumes. And that really surprised me. I wasn't thinking that this would really cut it down as much as these, you know, cartridge masks do. Now, they do advertise that this will cut down, they say up to 99.4% of exhaust gas, pollens, dust, particles, smoke, things of that nature. We don't have any way to actually test that, so, but I wanted to share that with you because that was a big takeaway. I mean, fumes like that usually get through stuff pretty easily, and this did a very good job with it. So the other nice thing about it is it's pretty easy to clean. This is all washable, and then these are able to be replaced quite easily with just twisting the exhaust valves out, popping this out, putting a new one in. Now, I've been using this one for about another week. Not really heavy sanding, but some sanding and painting, and you can see the inside there is still pretty clean. In fact, I just take my air hose and blow it off real quick, and that seems to be keeping it quite clean, but this one needs to be washed here in a little bit. So I think they say that you can use it, what was that? Yeah, continuous heavy dust exposure for up to 20 to 30 hours. So that will be pretty nice, especially cartridges, you know, can get pretty expensive, where this is a little bit more cost efficient. I don't know if you're sacrificing a little bit. There's definitely some instances where I'm still going to go and pull for one of my big cartridge ones, but if I'm not doing something, you know, really heavy duty, this is definitely something I'm going to be grabbing. So that was my takeaway on the base camp. Specifically here, it was the 3rd generation of the M Plus face mask. I will tell you that I'm going to continue to use it in my shop. Like I said, the comfort of it really impressed me, and it's going to make me use it more often because of the comfort. So below this video, I'm going to leave a link to the company's site so you can go and read up and check out, you know, a little bit more of the different products they sell, because they have other ones besides this one. And then you can decide, you know, if it's something that you want to invest in on your own. I will also have a link to this specific mask if you're interested in purchasing, and I'll link that below as well. So until next time, thanks for buzzing by. You go make some dust, and now you won't be breathing it in.